Hey, guess what? Taurus sun, moon, and rising this December of 2024 powers up your career space in a way that you haven't yet seen in this lifetime, with Venus and Pluto and the nodes of fate conspiring to make major and powerful shifts in the work career space of your reality. Also, there's some significant changes going on in the home life as well. We'll be bringing you into all of the details of the month of December in a chronological order in our 20 to 30 minutes together today. Before we begin, welcome to my channel. My name is Lori Lothian, and I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, and of course, fixed stars and minor asteroids are part of my all content on my channel. I like you to see astrology as a navigational tool to sort of time your best life. However, this is general bell curve astrology. It is not your personal natal reading. Some of this will apply. If you're listening for your rising sign, it's your character in the game of life. Your sun is your purpose and career. Your moon is your home, your body, and mind. But in general, try all three, see how they play out. I certainly recommend your rising sign and your sun sign to listen as if those are the more important delineations. The only thing I'm sharing before we dive into your month ahead is that I have to share with you. I've started a Substack column. Check it out below. The Pluto Chronicles. It's going to run through the entire 20 years that Pluto's in Aquarius. I have a podcast that will be coming into Substack in January called the Pluto Chronicles as well. Podcast. It's a free column. I'm writing all about Pluto's machinations in the world as he moves through the sign of Aquarius, and we're going to cover every little detail. So if you're a Pluto junkie like me and you want to know more, I am going to dive into Pluto's world on my Substack column or newsletter, the Pluto Chronicles, and you just check below to subscribe for free. Now, let's go ahead and mention the other thing. Did you catch wind that I sold a lot of those 2024 All Signs pre-sale bundles to get your 2025, I should say, sun, moon, or rising, or just one of those? Well, they're still available and you can grab them before the end of the year or into next year. And they are 2 hours videos each. They cover a downloadable audio, a downloadable video, a PDF written for each sign, separate content by me for a guidebook for 2025. And you can also get the unlisted link to the video on my YouTube channel, because these are my fundraisers every year to get the bundle. 12 videos, share with friends and family, 12 readings for the forecast, 2 hours long for 2025 for each sign. I buy ring lights, I buy computers, I hire time stampers. I do things I need to help my channel grow. That's just how I raise the money to do it every year. And instead of asking for money for nothing, I'm asking for money and giving you something. So check out that product. It is still around and it is still on sale. Well, not on a discount price. That was pre-sale, but still available. All right. So grab that in my description box under the more button on this video as well. Taurus, let's go ahead and talk about you and not about me and my channel. First of all, and like and subscribe, Taurus, big deal, because Venus is the lord of your sign. So we start up every month with kind of the big picture story, and Venus is moving into Aquarius and she will bump into Pluto. So we're going to talk about the big wave of every planet, what they're doing, what each planet is doing. Then we'll break it down to chronological order. Okay. But when we start off the month and we see Venus moving into the sign of Aquarius, that's your 10th house. That's your reputation. That's your career. That's your public standing in the world. That's the house of weddings. It's where you are seen in the public eye or in your career ambitions and successes as failing or succeeding. Well, when Venus enters your 10th house on December the 6th through to January 2nd, she's up there with Pluto. And January 6th to 10th in particular, not only is she conjunct Pluto, but she's also flowing to the north and south node of fate. So while you had a Pluto conjunction with Venus last February 17th of 24, and that was the first of 20 or so of these conjunctions that will occur till 2044. This is the first time you've had it, and the only time you'll have it, in which Venus, the lord of your Taurus sign, is flowing to the north node in the 12th house and the south node in the 6th house. Let's make sense of what this might possibly mean. Maybe in early December, January 6th to the 10th, or in December in general, you may be considering retiring from a career or a job path, leaving something behind. You may also be thinking of traveling to foreign shores or lands, or increasing your exposure to digital income and revenue through your career with borderless income or income from foreign employers or entities. But whatever it is, it's going to take you either away from the work you're doing or slow it down a bit so that you can explore also 10th house, 12th house, north nodes in your 12th house Aries matters. And that can also be a bit about maybe moving your work or career towards something that is more international in nature or has to do with online revenue and income. And just because the South Node is in the sixth house doesn't mean you quit your job, but you may pull away from it. Maybe you'll take a vacation or time off. Pluto Venus gives you wealth and power. It is a wealth yoga in your 10th house of career. All said and done, Venus co-present there all the way to January 6th means you are leveling up wealth and power, and that's the story. Raises, promotions, new jobs, accolades by the boss, advancements, severance packages, and sign-on bonuses. I don't know what they're all going to be. You might also be finding yourself really enjoying the work you're doing a lot more, but also feeling very empowered by it. That's another option. And if you don't have an employee-employer situation in your life, then you may be massively changing the work you're doing just because you can. Maybe you're your own boss and you're going to change what you're doing. Mars will be traveling your fourth house, indicating also changes of work and home happening all at once. And with a flow to Mercury in your eighth house, some of you Tauruses may be selling land, property, or real estate connected to work and career matters. These are things that may be going on in the merry month of December. And then Mercury is in the sky in November 2nd, your eighth house of banks, loans, and mortgages, taxes, and inheritances. Your eighth house is where he is November 2nd to January 7th. The catch: on November 26th, he went retrograde, and he's retrograding in the first 2 weeks of December as well. So therefore, you're going back over old ground. Maybe you're doing a budgeting. Maybe you're looking at your credit cards. Maybe you want to pay them off. Maybe you are doing tax finance stuff, and you're going over the numbers and revising and redoing and rethinking. You're going back over old ground that Mercury traveled November 2nd to remediate and revise. So if it has to do with taxes, fine. If it has to do with inheritance, wonderful. Bank loans, credit cards, mortgages, financing. But that's a lot of focus, guys. November 2nd to January 7th, you're really drilling into that part of your life. The eighth house is also the house of the money you share with your spouse, or money you share with other institutions like health insurance companies and stuff. And there's a lot of fine print going on and a lot of detail that needs to be investigated November the 26th through to December the 15th. Then Mars, the god of action and willpower and decisions and choice, is in your fourth house of property, land, real estate, home, and also domestic life, the people you live with. When Mars is here, and he's here for a bit of time, he arrived in this part of your chart already before December starts. He got here November the 4th, and then he leaves on January 6th. And this can indicate that there is complications in the home life, fighting, arguing, combat, conflict, disagreements in the home. That's going to happen for some Tauruses between November 4th and January 6th. But the retrograde time, December 6th, he turns around at 6 degrees of Leo and backtracks, so that by January 6th, he's still retrograding, but he's now in your third house. I want you to ask yourself, what was I doing November the 4th? And then what did I decide to rethink on December the 6th? For example, did you move your home? Do you think it was a bad idea? Are you reconsidering who you want to have live with you, because Mars separates, and maybe there's a desire to separate out? And be careful here for you ones that are married, because Juno, the marriage and divorce goddess, keeps getting in a square relationship to Mars, broadly though, as if you may be pondering a separation or a disagreement that way. But you can also break contracts to do with land, property, and real estate, including mortgages, including financing matters, under this energy as Mars rethinks himself and goes back to redo something that he decided on already November the 4th to December 6th. December 6th to January 6th, he's going backwards in your fourth house, and that's all the redo energy. However, if you do travel away from your home, which some people do when Mars is here, especially to far off places, it's to places you've been before, and it's not something brand new between December 6th and January the 6th. Now, Jupiter is still traveling through Gemini. That happens to be the part of your sky that you would recognize as your earnings, your money, your possessions, your food style. Jupiter retrograded after being direct in your second house of money and earnings, After being direct in there since May of 24, he retrograded backwards on October 9th to deepen the bounty. But this also means that things slow down. And so maybe your money earnings work stories were somehow slowing down October the 9th through to February 4th. Yet he's going backwards to go deeper. And so some way, somehow, this means that February 4th to June the 9th, when he goes forward again, things will really propel forward in your life financially, especially as it connects to your work story, right? Work and career matters and money matters. Some of you may go back to jobs and money-making strategies you've had in the past during the retrograde, and there's no difference in December because all of October, more or less, and all of November, and all of December, and all of January, he keeps going backwards in the money earnings part of the sky. Now, Saturn is in the sign of your 11th house Pisces. This is where you've had difficulties with friends, maybe some cold shoulders, chill outs with some friends or allies or larger groups of belonging, maybe in desire to wean or pair or winnow down the friends that you have and choose the ones that are true and blue. And with Neptune up here as well, you're looking for making some of your long-range dreams and goals a reality. And because on November 15th, we had direct motion from Saturn, you're moving forward on actualizing some of your not only your dreams and goals for your life, but also that the gains from your career, making them stable and realistic, but also reaching to a higher level of what you aspire to achieve. And you're going to be doing that story also throughout the month of December. Now, we're going to break it down into the chronological order of the month. So grab a pen or paper or slow me down or pause me because I don't have funding yet for someone who's writing all the timestamps below for this or putting them in a video editing mode. So bear with me. It's pretty low key, low production value. I'm doing my best. We're going to go through each story in a chronological order. There's a beautiful Venus gift to you, December the 1st and the 2nd-ish, where Venus is going to flow in a beautiful lucky trine to Algol, the wealth star, with Uranus perched on top of it. This is Venus moving through your 9th house of Lakshmi, wealth and luck and prosperity, and judges and courts and foreign lands and travels and educational opportunities, and flowing to Uranus in the sign of your identity, your sun, your career, of course, your moon, your home matters, and of course, your body, as well as a good luck, for you if you're a rising sign Taurus. So it definitely looks like an opportunity for some kind of luck. Venus is luck in a lucky house, a 9th house. It could be any kind of luck. It can be wealth. It can be love. It can be prosperity. It could be anything. But what I'm trying to get to is you're lucky, and it's a lucky moment. It surprises you. So December 1st and 2nd, a lucky surprise, courtesy of Venus, that you directly receive into your arms. And again, a court win, a judge on your favor, good situations revolving around passports, travel, education, those sorts of matters. On the 3rd of December, all the way through to the 7th, we have a whole bunch of stuff happening at once. It's going to be hard to break it down, but I'm going to try. It's a very busy week. Mercury goes into the heart of the sun on the 5th and 6th of December. This is a cazimi. It means he's at one with the sun, and he gives you divine downloads, news and information and insights, and emails and phone calls are special on that date, outbound or inbound. So on December the 4th, 5th, 6th, kind of cazimi, it's time frame dependent to your time zone. He's at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, deeply enchanting, deeply magical, and deeply retrograde. And this is your 8th house of that money that you share with your spouse and the banks and the insurance companies and all of that. Look for phone calls and emails, alimony, spousal support, inheritance, look, money from sales of property, bank, refinancing. Important developments are happening around the 6th and 5th of December. However, this is also a cazimi opposite Jupiter retrograde in your 2nd house, while squaring Saturn in your 11th. It's a T-square. It will reoccur at the end of this month of December too. We'll get to that. So while you are going back over the details and you get news, information, phone calls, or insights about monies that you share with others, You also notice that Jupiter, who's participating in the earnings house, but retrograde, was indicating with Mercury retrograde some financial opening or opportunity connected to past events that go back as far as November 26th or even further back with Jupiter, October the 9th. Then we also see that Saturn is in the mix, and this is Saturn in the house of allies and benefactors, and sibling one elder than you, or friends who are supportive of you, or an elder sibling, yes, one above you. And Saturn is kind of like the referee and trying to come to some stable and concrete and reliable and practical solution to money matters. It's that simple. So you're coming into a financial crucible, but it looks like Saturn can find a way through it as he is in direct motion, and he's entirely sensible. And you might need to rely on some money from an elder sibling or a friend, or you might get some from a friend, or a career gain happens. It allows you to deal up challenges in your money axis of the money you invest, the money you share with others, the money you have through taxes and insurance and investments and credit cards and mortgages, and the money you make. And there's a balancing act trying to happen here. Jupiter won't go direct till February 4th, as I've mentioned. So a lot of this money is still slow for you, but it will get better after February the 4th. And with Mars in the bottom of the sky, maybe there's some tension also in the sky about whether or not to buy or sell a property, and some decisions around money matters connected to that are being handled by you December 5th, 6th, and we'll be back later in the month, so stay tuned. We also notice that Venus is loving up Neptune in a beautiful glow called a sextile. It's graceful and it's beautiful. And it's her talking to Neptune in your house of allies and benefactors and career gains from your 9th house of judges and courts and legal matters and passports and foreign travel. Now, it could be many things. It could be something very positive connecting to a sibling, one older and two older than you, that comes through as loving and compassionate and gentle and kind, and you're able to receive it as such. It might have some changes to do with legal court matters and people who are friends who are helping you that are positive and lucky. Dreams come true regarding a long cherished dream and goal, and it may involve travel or visas or court or legal matters, and the actualization of a dream come true, a wish come true, December 4th and December 5th. Even a dream travel opportunity to a far off shore may be emerging through a friend, a benefactor, an ally, are opening up travel opportunities for you. On December the 7th, we talked about in the intro, Venus will move into your 10th house with Pluto. We already discussed her trine to the nodes of fate. We won't see this one again in your lifetime. Won't see it until 248 years from now. This trine, Venus moving through your 10th house to the nodes of fate, so perfectly aligned in the Libra axis and in the Aries axis. I have to rethink that. You could see it in 2043, for example. It's possible, but let's just say it's pretty rare. And then we're gonna wonder about, or I am going to wonder about, so we don't go back and listen to the beginning. I'm not going to say it all over again, but I'm wondering about how you're going to handle the Venus-Mars opposition on December 12th, because these two, Venus is your lord of your sign. She favors you, but she's in an opposition to Mars in the 4th house. And it's like a crisis between your reputation or between your career ambitions and goals and success and matters to do with your home life. The best you can make is a sexy office romance or a hot, sizzling romance close to home. But the other one would be, wow, like I want to travel from home, but my career won't let me. I need to make changes in my home life and who I'm living with, and I can't get it off the ground. I want to sell a property. Mars is saying, like, go back and regroup. Is it time to like let go of some property that you own, to renege on an assertion that you would have this property or this home or this piece of land? And Mars is going backwards, talking to Mercury in your 8th house, in the house of loans and mortgages, and Mercury's still retrograde as well, December 12th. So it was all about land, property, and real estate dealings from the past and sort of a pullback. He just wants to bring good stuff in your career. And some of you may have a change of home, and home matters based on career matters as well, coming up in December 12th. Give or take a day on either side. On December 14th to the 16th, there's a full moon. It's actually on the 15th. Well, Mars and Mercury are doing something good in your sky. So let's talk about the moon. Gemini is where the full moon is. It's at 23 degrees of Gemini on the 15th of December. This is a completion and a fulfillment of something you started last May, end of May and into June, when new moon energy was happening here. New beginnings that happened, let's say in early June, in your money, earnings, and resources house. Did you apply for a job, get a job, find a new job? Did you make more money? Did you sell a possession, sell a home, take possession of some money? Did you refinance a mortgage, or did you get a credit card thing paid off, or even get a credit card? I don't know what you were doing, but Jupiter was giving you this energy, back in June of last year, 24, we're still in that year. And now what I'm seeing is this full light, full moon flashlight with Jupiter right there, amping up the fulfillment and the opportunity. But because Pluto entered your 10th house, and he can be a god of deep transformation, including endings, and because we see a full moon for completion and money opportunities connected to career, it may indicate that you may change your career path or job in the 6 months that follows the December 15th full moon. However, full moon means full light in the money and earning space. And once February 4th happens through to June 9th, you can pretty well count on an increase of your finances connected to work and career matters. And technically, once you get the South Node out of the 6th house, which is January 11th, even more so will you be able to increase financial gains through your work and be less depleted and less drained by the work you are doing. Keep that in mind. So Mercury and Mars are going to come into a commercial success story to do with land, property, home, and real estate. That often looks like buying or selling land, home, property, real estate, taking possession of inheritance monies, hearing that you're going to have an inheritance come your way, tidying up spousal support and separation of assets in a divorce, moving towards completions of matters that are connected to the past. Now, Mercury's stationing direct. So go back to November 26th and think about banks, loans, mortgages, refinances, mortgage brokers, escrows, all that kind of stuff. Think about investments in the markets and the stock markets. Think about money you share with a partner, business and spouse, and how you're moving forward now on December 14th and 16th between those dates. But Mars says, we're going back. So wait, this is an old story. Are you cutting, ending, and severing from a domestic situation with financial loose ends tying up? Or are you selling a property and loose ends are tying up? December 14th to the 16th. And on December 19th to the 20th, Venus trines Jupiter, which is luck upon luck. Your Lord Venus flows to lucky Jupiter, and they have a luck conspiracy on your behalf to do with your career, reputation, and money. Now, look, December 19th, 20th is probably bonus time for your employees, or you're going to get bonuses or performance reviews or some, good thing happens. So it could just be, wow, I didn't expect a bonus pay at Christmas. They must like the work I'm doing. Or you get Employee of the Year award, or you get some luck in your money in applying for a job at Christmas time, December 19th, 20th, give or take a day. And you can't believe your luck to get the job. So this is job and work and career and money matters. Artha houses loving you up December 19th to the 20th, or money from a father figure that you didn't expect coming through your sky, December 19th to the 20th, like a nice little glow up for you here. I feel lucky. You feel lucky. Now, it gets tougher as the month goes on, because Jupiter will square Saturn for the last 10 days of the month, basically almost like the 20th December to the end of the month. When Jupiter squares Saturn, it's going to take you back to the same square energy that happened August 19th. Can you remember what you were doing in August, especially closer to the 19th, but maybe the whole month, that had you in a constriction around your finances, your resources, your spending, and your friends and your social circles? Now, it could be as simple as you overspent and you were trying to contain your spending, but Jupiter had no control. He was direct. Or you were making a lot more money than you're used to, but you had some frustration with a person in the colleague coworker space, or your career gains were sort of slower than you wanted, but Jupiter was spending more money than you had. Maybe something like that in August. Go back and remember. Now it's back again, starting December 2021. You feel the same tension. Pay attention to this. This is a redo. And the reason it's good for you is because Jupiter is now retrograde and he wants to do it differently. He wants to deepen the bounty, not spend the money, maybe look at how to conserve the money, look at some of the mistakes you might have made. Where was there hardship in August? Was there a friend that was an ally or benefactor who was trying to help you with financial matters in August, but it didn't work out the way you wanted? Things were constrained somehow. You're going to do a redo. I think if it's not about money, no, it really should be. Jupiter's a money god in your money house, money, earnings, and resources, spending and saving. Jupiter's generous. He spends a lot here, but he's retracting now. He's going backwards. It's also a Hail Mary pass until next July, June 9th. You won't go broke. You won't be poor. You won't be homeless because Jupiter saves your ass here. So once every 12 years, you get your Hail Mary pass on financial destitution, but you can still have financial hardship because he's squaring Saturn in the house of career gains. My daughter is a Taurus sun, and she's like, Mom, I'm so happy I got a real job out of university, but it's not a livable wage. She called me today to say that, and this is a hardship, right? She lives in Vancouver, Canada, super expensive. It's more expensive than Manhattan. And so you're looking at like budgets and constraints around livable wages and money and spending and career gains as a crucible of tension around Christmas time. And you'll make decisions based on being more practical about it, perhaps, because Saturn is now direct. On December the 25th to the 27th, we have the same T-square in the sky that you felt playing out on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of the month. It's back. It's the same story. Mercury in the 8th house, Jupiter in the 2nd, Saturn in the 11th, very acutely returning. What's the difference? Mercury's direct. So now you can sign the mortgage, sign on the dotted line, get the favor from the friend signed off, get the house or property sold, take possession of the money from the sale, refinance the mortgage or the loan without any problems, pay off that credit card debt and be really solid. And this is a nice feeling for you, December 24th to the 27th. If it involves inheritance monies or spousal support monies, things go forward in a new way. They're solid, but they require determination. They require perseverance and discipline, responsibility and effort, but you can do this on the 25th to the 27th of December. On December 27th, Venus gets a total love on with Algol, Wellstar, and Uranus in a square, however, but it brings good things for Venus as a good goddess. So Venus squares Algol, Wellstar, Uranus, shock and surprise, 10th house of career, you are surprised. The boss offers you a double jump promotion. The boss or someone in the workspace gives you a huge raise. You end up with some kind of unexpected wealth through a father figure. Maybe daddy-o gives you a massive Christmas bonus check in your stocking stuffer. It's a positive surprise connected to father figures and authority figures, and career space matters and reputation matters. And you. And Venus brings usually wealth and money, especially with Pluto. Unexpected promotion, unexpected reward at work, that you just get a nice surprise around December 27th-ish, a day or two before or after maybe. And the last thing of the year, Taurus, is this lunation called a Capricorn 9-degree new moon, new beginnings in your 9th house. Now, this can indicate on December 30th, and then you add 2 weeks or up to 6 months, powerful new resets regarding higher education, long distance travel and visas, passports, maybe a reset in financial matters connected to courts and court situations, maybe things to do with a reset in your spiritual faith, maybe a reset with a sibling too older than you, or maybe a reset in matters to do with publications and book publishings. A new beginning, a new start is happening here. This is a particular moon that flows to Saturn in the house of allies and benefactors and career gains. You could get a new job opportunity from a foreign country. You could get a new job opportunity in a foreign country. You could get some kind of gain from a friend or ally that benefits your educational goals. Maybe someone wants to pay for your higher education or give you a reference letter that gets you in the door. So some really beautiful new beginnings in your 9th house of God and your 9th house of foreign lands and courts and legal matters and far off travels and visas and education and book publishing. So much going on. It's a lucky house and it's a new beginning, and the new moon does flow rather beautifully to Saturn. Saturn direct in your 11th house brings stable new beginnings that last a long time and can increase your career gains, especially if it involves foreign corporations that you work for, or foreign companies and foreign entities that require you to travel, as those kinds of matters. And that's what I've got for you. I hope that was okay, Taurus. I'm hitting the end of the day light, and I'm recording on November 22nd for my Patreon community who gets this early access ad free. If you want this kind of stuff before the general public, early access ad free, then you want to check my Patreon community out. For $5 a month, you get the easiest discounts at meeting with me every month, early access ad free. Everything is in my description box. I will be having a promotion coming up in December too. Stay tuned for that, where I'm going to try to lure you into my Patreon community. Well, it's either in December, it's in January, probably in January. So stay tuned. Bye, everybody. And thanks for listening. Thanks, Taurus. Have a wonderful December, Christmas season, holiday season, Hanukkah season, whatever you celebrate.